Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Happy Friday to all. Hopefully, you've had a great funding week. My name is Teddy Corral, one of the national trainers here at Mortgage Coach, and Bryan Mehring, also one of the national trainers, will be joining us as well. I am kicking off the call and showing and giving the overview of Mortgage Coach and what we have to offer. What you should be looking at on your screen there is Rate Watch. And Rate Watch can now be downloaded onto your smartphone. So I use a Droid, and you're looking at the Droid version of Rate Watch. To download the Rate Watch or Mortgage Coach mobile app, which we'll get into in a second, you can go to your Google Play Store and download the Rate Watch mobile app. For your iPhone users, go to your App Store and type in Rate Watch. Rate Watch is one word, and get that downloaded onto your iPhone. If you are downloading the Rate Watch app for the first time, it will ask you for a username and password, and it is the same username and password that you would use to log into Mortgage Coach Edge. So some features that are offered to you in Rate Watch is the little toolbar here that you're going to see the mouse roll over. This little toolbar for your iPhone users, it'll say Share Report. Okay, but if I tap on that toolbar, it's going to allow me to screenshot that chart, okay, and I can email or text it out to any realtor or any one of my clients. So do keep that in mind. We do allow you to screenshot this and send it out. It allows you to, really look like the mortgage professional that you are when sending this out, just letting your clients or realtors know that you do keep track of the market for them. Now I am going to move over to my little toolbar off to the upper left-hand corner there. I'm going to tap on that, and I'm going to go to my day watch chart. The same thing with the day watch chart. Okay, so I'm just going to spin my my screen there. We allow you to capture and screenshot this as well, and you can send this chart or text this chart out to any realtor or client. Now, to explain a little bit about the day watch and also too, the candlestick chart. So number one, the little diamond point here, that little circle that my mouse is hovering around. Every time the market shifts 15 basis points, we are alerted. So you are alerted through email. You can set it up to be alerted through text, and more importantly now on your smartphone, you're alerted right from your smartphone. Anytime the screens are red, such as they are now, our market is down, rates tend to go up, all based on how the lenders react to the market based off the opening bell. Okay. On the candlestick charts, don't necessarily need to know, every single thing about a candlestick chart. Very simple. Is if you tap on any of the candlestick charts, okay, it's basically just going to go over, what we looked like during the opening bell, what it's done since opening bell, the high and low of the day. Very simple to understand. Most of the originators I work with, they do capture the day watch chart versus the candlestick chart. So slight differences, but all meaning the same. If the screens are green, that means the market is in our favor. Rates tend to go down, hopefully being that that's a good thing. And once again, all depending how each lender or investor reacts to the market. Okay, so I'm going to move on over back to my toolbar here, and I'm going to tap on alerts. And this is the alerts I was talking about, folks. So we've had one alert today, and that means that the market has shifted 15 basis points, whether positive or negative, and you get this alert. And as the day goes through, sometimes we have these really crazy days. You have all kinds of alerts. Do keep in mind that you can set it up to be emailed and text as well. And I'm going to go back over to my toolbar. Okay, Edge Views. Edge Views is very, very important. So as Bryan is going to get into building a total cost analysis with you, each time we send a total cost analysis to our client, any realtor, and they click on the link that you sent on, and we're going to get deeper into building the analysis and clicking on the link as we move in further into today's training. But the most important thing is that you're notified when your presentations are viewed. So not only am I notified through email when the presentation is viewed, but you're also notified inside of the Rate Watch app. So if I were to tap on this little info bar there, it's going to pull up the information on who viewed my presentation and how long they viewed it for. Okay, if I tap on that link, this is the same link that you sent out to your client. I can view what I sent out to my client, and it's going to show me exactly what I sent out. Okay, pretty neat feature to have in your back pocket. Great conversation piece to have with your realtor. Excellent conversation piece to have during a lunch and learn that you may deliver to your realtors. So I thought I'd point that out. This is the open house presentation inside of Mortgage Coach Edge on the mobile app. And of course, if you want to share this with any of your realtors prospects, or you get your realtor to download the Mortgage Coach mobile app, they can click Share Report, and they can send this out by text or email to any other prospect or any other realtor that has prospects interested in this home. If I were to tap on property features, the features of that property will appear, okay, listing everything there. If I were to tap on payment options, in this particular open house presentation, I just put a 30-year, a 5/1, and an 80-10-10. And think about this, folks. This is a fundamental mortgage coach training here, so I don't want to get too deep into it. But think about the amount of strategies you can use to put presentations together for your realtors to help build your pipeline. I can simply put in here different purchase prices. I can put different down payment comparisons, or any market that you're in, VA, USDA, FHA. You can build that product right in there. And we even have payment streams. So if we were to tap on the payment stream, there's a list of what their payment streams will look like over the life of the loan. All right, so, and this I opened up right from RateWatch. Another feature that I like to point out is that for you, the originator, ideally when we built the mobile app, we built a consumer base first, so your clients can view each presentation from their smartphone or any tablet, just as they can view it from any desktop or laptop. But now we've added some features and functions in there for you, the originator. So when you look at the upper left-hand corner where my mouse is moving around, on that silhouette, we call it the silhouette there, I'm going to tap on that. I am going to go into my partner section, which is my realtor section inside of Mortgage Coach Edge. So when I bring that up, let me move my mouse over really quickly. I want to basically be able to paint the picture here for you guys. Okay, so this section here, this is my client section. Anytime you click New Client and you build a total cost analysis for each client, this is your client section. Anytime you build an open house presentation for your realtor, this is your new partner section, realtor section, partner section. Now it should all start to blend. When I tap on partner section from my mobile and I go to one of my presentations I built for one of my realtors, I tap on open house. Okay, I can review the report, I can go to video, or I can go live reporting. I'm going to go into video. Okay, Edge videos or album videos. I'm going to talk about Edge videos. You probably want to attend one of our trainings on the album videos. We have a mobile training coming up actually a few mobile trainings coming up over the next few weeks. On Edge videos, if I tap there, okay, record new video. How you doing, everybody? Good to see you. Happy Friday, right? Right on video there. Okay, so here's the deal. You can now record a message based off the presentation you send them. So just kind of think about, you're extremely busy, you don't have time to sit behind your desktop and wait to record a message or record videos all day long. You can do it right from your smartphone, right in the car. You can be in front of the home of that listing and need to send a message to one of your clients. You can add video right from your smartphone. Another feature I want to point out is if I tap on this camera here, okay, and think about this, guys, this is an open house presentation for your realtors. So have the vision with me. I just reverse the camera. Okay, and this is one of our training rooms here at Corporate Office and Mortgage Coach. It's a green room. We do a lot of recordings in here. But if I were to walk through that open house, and let's just say I'm walking through the open house, walking through the kitchen, the heart and soul of the home, now through the backyard and the dining room, family room, what you're pointing out here is that you're sending a video to your client, reminding them how much they love that home and why they want to purchase it. At the same time, they can still see their finance options along with that as well. So, and you can narrate as you're filming or videoing, I should say. You can narrate, or your realtor can narrate that video. And the next time they come in here, not only do they have a video attached to this presentation, but they can see the property features and the finance options. Okay, and one last thing, actually two last things I'm going to show you before Bryan takes over. Just want to give you the full Mortgage Coach overview. In the client section, okay, I'm just going to tap on one of my clients, which is, for me, it's training modules. For you guys as clients. Okay, so under the client section, oops, hang on here. Wow, it's giving me an error code. That is very strange. Let's try another one. I wonder if I corrupted that one in my system. No, actually. All right, folks, just bear with me. I need to reset this. Have too much open. Let's try it one more time. Technology is great, right? Okay, let's go right back into it. Okay, so I'm going in my clients, and I'm going to just tap on this first client up top. That's the no point. Let's go into view report. There we go. I'm not sure why I was giving me that error code. That was weird. Okay, so now the first feature I showed you was the open house presentation. This feature I'm showing you is for your client. So this summary section analysis. This is actually what you're going to be building with Bryan today, a total cost analysis. Okay, so when you actually send your clients the link, and he's going to get deeper into how we're sending out that link, or you go to your smartphone, you click share report, and you can send it right. You can send it right from your smartphone by text or email. Once you send your client this, they may tap on your information. That brings up a little business card of yours, so they can tap on the email or phone number to get in contact with you. You can add video into this presentation. It's broken down into 4 quadrants, just like the total cost analysis is on the desktop. If I were to tap on the summary section, they have the summary section of each product that's in here. This is a 5% down with no points, 5% down 2 points, and a 15-year mortgage. That's what I threw in there to build this presentation. You should attend one of those trainings. It's great. And over on to the right side of that, you have payment breakdown. You can see all the list, the number of the breakdown, closing cost. Okay, so here is the closing cost in bulk. If they would like to see it by line item, they would just tap on fee detail, and they can see that as well. So every analysis you sent out, whether they view it from a desktop, laptop, smartphone, or tablet, they have the information at their fingertips. Okay, so how do we learn more about mobile? How do we learn more about Mortgage Coach Edge once I complete my first total cost analysis? Because you're on this training today for the purpose of learning Edge. The fundamentals, the basics, always stick to the basics. Fundamentals are the greatest. If you stick to that, it's Mortgage 101, right? Stick to normal funding, Mortgage 101, you're great. Okay, last thing I want to show you. How do we get there? How do we do that? Okay, so on your when you log into Mortgage Coach Edge and you click Help, this takes you to our knowledge base. So everything and anything you need to learn or want to know, it's listed in here for you. Bryan's going to talk a little bit more about this, but more importantly, to get to more trainings, you would click on Access this month's calendar event. It's updated continuously. So on Tuesdays, we have coaching calls hosted by our CEO, Dave Savage, and other speakers around the world that host these calls with Dave Savage. Excellent, excellent content in there to provide on what's going on with our mortgage community. And then we have Thursday's Q&A. So you can get on that Q&A call, ask as many questions as you like. We answer each question as they come in. It's a really great learning session. And then every Friday, the course you're on now, the beginner's course, okay? And then the first 3 weeks of every month, we have, I'm not sure why they really call it beginners, because this is, you're on a beginner's course today. The first 3 weeks of every month, that morning sessions, it's more fundamental and strategy, really good stuff. But as a beginner, it's a great way to learn Mortgage Coach Edge. And then on the afternoon sessions, intermediate to advanced is what I would call this. Once again, intermediate to advanced, and even though you're a beginner, don't hesitate to attend any one of these afternoon sessions because you can still learn a lot from it. You don't have to be at the advanced level, and it's also great fundamental learning as well. So how did I get there? When in Edge, I click my help key. Once I click my help key, it opens up our knowledge base, takes you to the Knowledge Center, and you would click on Event Archives, and shows you a list of our trainings. You can register for any one of these classes at any given day. So we host multitude of trainings throughout the entire month. Hey, I wish you all luck on today's training. I'm going to let Bryan take over from here, and good luck to all.
Hi folks, happy Friday to you. Bryan Mehring, National Trainer with Mortgage Coach. Looking forward to working with you on building your first TCA. And we'll go ahead and get the process started here. And in order to do that, what I would like to do is draw your attention. I'm going to go through a little slide deck here real quick. Of course, thanking you for joining the training. And I want to show you where we're located. If you don't already know, our website is edge.mortgagecoach.com. And we're actually going to want you to follow along. We want you to build that presentation as I am doing it as well. So if everybody could take a moment, try and get into that website so that we can go ahead and start the presentation. Draw your attention to where it's located. And what you're going to want to do is minimize that GoToMeeting window for the moment and open up another screen so that you can go ahead and open up a new browser and go to the website edge.mortgagecoach.com. So I'll go ahead and I'll pause a little bit as we're going through this to make sure that everybody's able to get to that site. So I think you're going to get a lot more out of this by actually entering information as we go along. And what I'll do is if anybody gets stuck or if anybody has a question, you know, what does this do or why are we doing this, the question box is open, so please take advantage of that. Fire away with any questions as we're going along through this presentation for you. Okay, so hopefully everybody is at that location, and you're going to want to, of course, enter your username would be your email address, and if this is your first time actually logging in, your temporary password is going to be pass123, and it is going to prompt you to enter a change your password basically. So make sure that you change it to something that's going to be very easy for you to remember. And then when you've successfully logged in the GoToMeeting, if you could raise your hand so that we know everybody's ready to go. So everybody out there that's in this presentation, if you can go ahead and raise your hand once you're into that position, that would be great. I'll go ahead and I'll pause here to make sure everybody's able to do that. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get started. And once you're in, this is the dashboard that you should be seeing. And as you're looking at it, I'm going to draw your attention to two areas. You're going to want to be working in today's presentation in what we call the client area. You can see up here at the top where the cursor is pointing to recent clients. As Teddy was mentioning earlier, the recent partners tab, and he was showing you on the mobile device. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? You can sure do a heck of a lot on your mobile phone or your tablet. But as we're working through this TCA, we're going to be working in the client area, and we're going to go ahead and open up a new client. This would be for a new partner. Go ahead, new client, open that up. We'll go ahead and we'll build one from scratch. So let's go ahead and just make some adjustments here so I'm ready to go. Okay, good. And for those of you, I do see quite a few hands up. It looks like you're good to go. For those of you that are maybe having difficulty doing it, try and follow along to the best of your ability as we're going through this. And if you do need any help either logging in or any challenges that you're encountering, you can contact us at support@mortgagecoach.com. Again, support@mortgagecoach.com. We do have a staff that monitors that, and they usually get back to you fairly quickly, usually within a half an hour. So we're ready here to help you. Let's go ahead and build our first presentation. And in speaking with a lot of different originators throughout the country, I'm hearing that mostly it's a purchase market right now, and most of the people are doing a lot of transactions where they're putting, a small down payment down. And that might be the same case for everybody there. Out of curiosity, for those of you that are ready to build this presentation, if you could raise your hand. I mean, is that pretty applicable for your markets as well? Jared's yes. Greg, okay, good. Okay, Joseph, perfect. Okay, yeah, a lot of people. Everybody's into the purchase, so we'll build that presentation. Okay, so this is a client area. We're not going to be doing a marketing piece again. This is the very first presentation that I'm assuming everybody's building, so we're going to keep it real simple. It's going to be an individual report, and let's go ahead. We'll use let's see, our first speaker today was Teddy. We'll use Teddy's name here, and so we're going to try and capture as much information. If you have two borrowers, you'd want to go ahead and enter both names there. Of course, capture the phone number, and we're going to be using this as a client rather than a prospect. And we're going to go ahead and use the own button here as opposed to the rent. If you did use the rent, you could start having conversations with your borrower. Maybe they are renting now, and you could gear your presentations to the benefit of being a homeowner rather than a renter, and it allows you to enter some additional fields as to the rental situation right now. But again, we're going to keep it simple on this particular report, and we'll use it as if they enter information as if they own a property at this point in time. I do want to draw your attention to these next two areas here. If you do have a realtor partner that you're working with, and you want to have them receive a copy of the report or an alert, you'd want to enter their information as well here in the partner email. Also down here in the friendly name, this is an important area because you might build several different reports for Teddy throughout the life of doing business with them. You might do an initial report as, you might be in an open house and Teddy walks through the door, you introduce yourself, and this could be the very initial report that you provide him with. And then as you earn his business and you're actually doing a loan for him, you might do another report, and then you might do a final report when you're ready to start doing annual reviews with them. So what I'm going to do with the friendly name is I'm just going to label it as initial presentation, just so I can kind of keep track as to what I'm doing with this particular borrower. It helps you stay organized. So to save the information, you would arrow over to the right. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now you can see that we have both the option to arrow right and left. Either way will save that information for you. And you can see the progression. We were originally in the client area. Now we're just going to keep working our way through these different tabs as we go along and building this report, finally ending up in the presentation area over here. This is a purchase transaction, so we're going to go ahead and click the purchase. The other boxes that you see are mostly in regards to doing a refinance transaction. So I'll go ahead and arrow over. If they do have a current mortgage payment or a rental payment, you could enter that information here. You definitely want to enter this box right here because this is what your presentation is going to be about. You have to have some type of an idea of what the potential value of the property is or the asking price. So I'll go ahead and I'll put, say, $200,000 for an asking price in this scenario. The other information here would apply more to a refinance transaction. We do have these other buttons down here available if somebody is perhaps maybe HARP eligible. It's a quick link so that you can take advantage of those to make it easier for you to look up the property. Let me go ahead and arrow over. Now this is definitely good information for you to have because again this might be an initial interview that you have with somebody going through an open house, and we'll put some information in here. Let's put that there's, say, $75,000 for income. Credit status, let's go ahead and we'll put excellent. And you may or may not have a credit report. Again, this is entering some basic information so you can kind of learn a little bit more about your potential customer. And as you're doing that, you can make notes in this area over here. I'll draw your attention to the bottom right corner. And in the notes area, you can see this yellow square. You can enter any particular information, and it's for your use only. It will not come across on any other reports, or the borrower will not see this information. So if you're talking to a couple, maybe you can make a note as to who might the decision maker be, any particular aspects of the person. If they have a military background, they might be a candidate for a VA loan, anything in particular that stands out for you. And then if you can, of course, capture maybe a little bit about what their obligations are, what's their debt situation with other items. Maybe they have a car payment that they're making and a couple credit cards. Maybe they have, say, $5,000 worth of non-mortgage debt, and maybe it's costing them, say, $350 on a monthly basis. And of course, since this is a purchase transaction, we're definitely going to be keeping our ears open for a down payment, where those funds are going to be coming from to be able to buy a house. So let's go ahead and say, let's see, we had a purchase price of $200,000. Let's say they have about $25,000 in a savings account. And since it's in a savings account, these days, the last time I checked, there wasn't a heck of a lot of a return on investment there. So we'll go with, say, 0.5%. This tax bracket area is very good, especially when you're trying to show the benefit of home ownership with somebody. It allows you to have a conversation and show them what potentially the benefits are tax-wise for owning that or purchasing that house. So what you could do, if you don't know the particular person's tax bracket, we did provide you with a link here. I'll just click on that real quick. It brings up a helpful website that you can enter information here and use it as a tool to get a better estimate as to what their potential tax bracket is. Of course, we're not financial advisors, CPAs, so you're going to want to make that disclaimer that, and you can include it actually in the TCA that we're going to be preparing here, that we're not a financial advisor, that the tax bracket was derived by our, an estimate. I am going to go ahead and include it in this scenario. I'm going to say that they're in the 25% tax bracket, so I can show you exactly on the report how that comes into play. So I'm going to arrow over to the right. How's everybody doing? Are you able to follow along? Are you keeping pace with where we're at? If we can get everybody raising their hand if they're logged in and they're able to follow along. Okay, good. Jared, thank you. Greg, it looks like you're doing good. Okay, everybody else? Michael, you doing okay? Taffy's doing good. Okay. All right, good. Glad to see that. Okay, so again, here's some, on this page, the affordability tab, this is where you're going to be able to get good information, and it's more of, I like to say that you're going to be reading your customers as you're going through and entering this information as to how they're answering this question, and seeing how, if you're working with a couple, what one person's opinion is versus the other, so that you can kind of pinpoint, who the decision maker might be to answer these fields. So say they're comfortable with a mortgage payment of $800, or let's put in $1,800, and maybe their ideal one would be $1,500, and you can get an idea of the price range that they're looking for. I'm going to split the range here because I already said that the purchase price is going to be about $200, so I'll go $225, and it's not a refinance transaction, so this isn't going to come into play. Let's Go ahead and arrow over. So now we're actually going to build our first product. And as you can see where the cursor's at right now. Oh, one other thing that I think I should point out for you. As you're going along, we're going left to right, so the wizard works from left to right. And if you happen to see, and let me go ahead and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about here. Let's get rid of that property value. I'm going to arrow over. See what happens? We've got a couple exclamation marks there. So those are basically, it's kind of like a red flag. It's telling you that information was not input in one of the red fields. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to put information in there. It's just drawing your attention to that information was not put in there. So you can just go back, tab over, and see what is missing, and see if it is, if you intentionally left it blank, or if you do need to go there and it basically caught a mistake there for you. So I'm going to go back to the product section. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to start building our first product. I'm going to get rid of product 1 as the name. And folks, keep in mind when you're in this area, you want to be as descriptive as you possibly can, but you're also going to want to use your space wisely. So you're going to be making abbreviations, and the reason being is that we have about the option to have about 12 characters in this area. So you want to be as descriptive as you possibly can about the product that you're going to build, but also use your space wisely. So I'm going to go ahead and, again, since most people are doing the purchases and conventional and low down payments, I will do, say, a 5% down conventional for this first one. And you can label it anything you want. You can get as creative as you want. Okay, it's not a refinance transaction, and we're going to go ahead and, since I've entered that information in the affordability or the assumption area, you can see that it carried over the purchase price. And we said that we're going to build a 5% down. So I'm going to let the wizard do the math for me. I'm going to go ahead and click on percentages. You can enter a dollar amount if you wish. I'm going to go ahead and put that 5 in there. Tab out of it. Okay, so now we have a base loan amount of $190,000. I'll go ahead and I'll put in a rate, say 4.25%. Now in the term, do make sure you can see in parentheses here, it does require you to do it in months. You'll get a shock the first time that you put in the years in there, and you'll see that payment be huge, and you'll be wondering what's going on, and then I'll hit you, and you go, oh, I forgot to do it in months. So let me go ahead and hit that 360. It is going to be a fixed product. You do have the option to do a fixed or an ARM. Again, we're going to, for simplicity in this presentation, we're going to do a fixed product. Okay, and if you do have interest only or balloon products, you can enter information there. I'm going to go ahead and arrow over. Okay, now what I'm going to do in this area is I'm going to show you where you can save a lot of time in building presentations. The goal for you folks is to be able to build these presentations and use your time wisely. Ideally, I mean, as you start using the tool and feeling more comfortable with it, it'll take you 5 minutes or less to be able to go through and build a presentation like this. It's not going to happen the first time, but as you build reports, and that's how come I'm encouraging you to build a report with me now, but as you go along, you start building 10 reports, 15 reports, you're going to see how easy it is to go through. And one of the big time savers that's really going to help you is using this closing cost detail and building templates. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that button. And what I mean by templates, for those of you, out of curiosity, anybody that's in the training right now, if you could raise your hand, does anybody already have templates? I'm kind of curious here. Oh, Jared, Joseph, okay, good. So a couple of you already have templates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of time and show you how to build some templates real quickly. So you can see I have 2 buttons over here, Add Custom Fee and Add Fee. I'll just click on this real quick 5 times. Okay, and you can enter information about the most common fees that you're going to have in a transaction. So most likely you're going to need an appraisal, so I'm just going to hit the A, scroll down, there's an appraisal. You can enter it either as a percentage or a dollar figure. I'll go ahead and say enter 450. How about a credit report fee? We can go ahead and put that in there. And the list here is set up so that it doesn't have every single fee that you might encounter, but again, it is built with the most common ones that you're going to encounter. If you do need to add a specific fee, a custom fee, you can click on this button. and you would enter the information here. So if you do encounter something that maybe is specific to your company or to your market that you encounter, you do have that option to add that in that particular area there. So you can see, let's see, we'll put a processor fee in there maybe. So I'll go to P. Gotta make sure our processors are paid right, keep them happy.
That's right.
Let's go ahead and put an underwriter in there. Make sure that they get paid. And you can kind of see how it works. If you do enter a fee that maybe you don't want, you see the big red trash can button over here, just click that, boom, and it's done. Now, if I wanted to, I could add this particular template that I just built to my loan scenario, and I could save it as a template. So you do have those features. So once you build it, you can save it. If I click Save as Template, you would want to go ahead and name that. And if it's state-specific, you folks are going to be doing business in multiple states. If you want to make your life easy, if it's specific to a state, you can go ahead and enter that information here. Now, I already have some templates in place, so I'm not going to go ahead and do that now. I'm just going to go to my drop-down, and I'm going to pull up. This one was a conventional loan, and it was purchase transaction. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. You can kind of get an idea of the fees that are already entered that I have here. Also, draw your attention over here. You can put if it's a borrower, lender, seller, or broker paid fee. If it's an APR affecting fee, if I'm going to add it to the loan, if it's a prepaid escrow. And you can see down here, all the explanations are in place. For those of you that are going to be building your own templates, your compliance department, an underwriter, processor, those would probably be good resources for you to reach out to try and get as accurate information for you so that you could build these templates. And they are definitely time savers. So I would tell you to invest your time here because you do want to be able to go through these reports and build them as quickly as possible. I have all the information in there that I want, so I'm going to go ahead and click Apply to Loan. Okay, and you can see what that does now. It grays out these fields so that I don't have to enter the information. Now, you could do that if you're going to provide, say, a ballpark estimate as what your APR related costs are, your non-APR, and if there's any contributions that you want to put in there. But otherwise, you would use the closing cost detail and the template. I'm not going to put any points in or prepaid interest in this particular scenario. Keep it as simple as possible. The next screen, as I arrow over, are the monthly fees that you're going to put in. You definitely want to make sure that you're putting that in regards to the property that will come into play here. I'm going to go ahead and use some general fees that we encounter here in monthly fees on here in California. I'm going to put, say, for the homeowner's insurance, I'll put, say, 1/4%. Let's see, say 1.25%. And you can see over here, other, if there was, say, an additional HOA fee, maybe flood insurance that's going to be required to be escrowed, or wind insurance, or whatever the case may be, you can add an additional item in here, and it will show down on the TCA in that payment breakdown. Okay, and as you're going through, oh, very important here. I almost went through it too quickly, caught myself. And you'll catch yourself here as you go through things. You can see how the product's starting to develop over here in the top right. What we're going to need to do is account for mortgage insurance, because again, we put 5% down on this particular property. So with a high LTV, hopefully the borrower has a nice strong FICO, and Radian is going to put together some mortgage insurance, and I'll put together a factor. I haven't taken a look in a while, but I'll put, say, 0.7 in there for the mortgage insurance factor. You folks will have to check, what your guidelines are and enter the correct information there. I am going to show you that you're going to want to put 78% here for your mortgage insurance cutoff. It's a little bit different than an FHA loan. It's not going to be calculated on the balance, so it's not going to be a declining payment as it goes on with like the FHA, but we'll get there and I'll show you that on the next one. If you wanted to collect any type of hazard insurance reserves or mortgage insurance reserves or tax reserves, you could enter that information in these fields. As Teddy showed on his mobile presentation, one of the products that he showed, I think, was an 80-10-10. So if you are going to have a second mortgage, you would want to enter that information. You'd click yes here, and then it'd prompt you to enter that information there. But again, simplicity, this is your first TCA, total cost analysis, so we're going to keep it pretty straightforward here. I do want to show you where we go to add that additional product. So add another product. And this one's going to be that FHA loan. And we'll go say 3.5%. I've got to get rid of those other characters. FHA. It's not a refi. And this is where you can save yourself some time. Again, folks, use this copy from button right over here. So what's going to do is it's going to pull all that information in from that scenario that you just built. Go ahead and click that. So it pulled in the purchase price. It also pulled in all the information that was specific to that product that you just built. So we're building a different one now. So you do have to make a few adjustments, 3.5% for that down payment on the FHA. And since it is an FHA loan, you do want to make sure that you're collecting that upfront premium or showing that you're doing that. And you do have your different choices, FHA, VA, USDA single. And go ahead and click FHA. And I'm hearing right now from most originators that FHA mortgages are a little bit better as far as rate. So maybe I'll put 4 1/8 in there. Again, a fixed product. Okay, and the closing cost detail. Now that was a conventional scenario that I just put in. I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab my FHA template now. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to put apply to loan. Let me just see here real quick. I'm going to put in a loan origination fee so it's similar to that other one. So the fees are going to be a little bit closer together here. Let's see here. Okay. All right, apply to loan. Now I'm good to go. Do take a look. We do now have another red box at the bottom of this closing cost detail, and it's asking you about what that upfront mortgage insurance premium is. I'm going to go ahead and click over here. I put 1 3/4. Arrow over. Okay. Now it's the monthly expenses. These are going to be the same. The hazard insurance, taxes. So I am good to go as far as on this particular page. So if you take a look now, I've got 2 products. I've got the 5% down conventional mortgage and the 3.5% FHA. And you can do a quick look at the comparison here, and you can see that they're pretty darn close. There's only a couple dollars difference in the monthly payment there. Let me go ahead and arrow over to the right. So as you're building it, you can take a look and see. Now this is kind of the I guess you could say the heart of that TCA that you're going to be building. It gives you the opportunity to adjust your benchmarks here. And what I mean by benchmarks is like the monthly savings benchmark. It automatically defaults to the highest. Whatever the loan is that costs the most, it's going to default to that. So again, there was about a $2 payment difference between the 2 products. So it's showing you that this conventional loan is saving $2 over that FHA product. Now you can, I tend to do it this way. Red seems to catch my eye, so it's a personal preference. You do have that option if you liked. So in this example, I'm showing that FHA actually costs $2 more than this one. It's up to you folks. However you want to design the presentation, it gives you that option. I'll go ahead and I'll close it back to highest. And then your appreciation rate, that's going to be important for this bottom right box where you're looking at the long-term scenario. And you do have 3 options here as well, depending upon what you're trying to show. In this particular instance, it's showing that the FHA loan, because of that upfront mortgage insurance premium and probably the greater cost of the mortgage insurance, it's costing about, let's see here, that's about a factor of about $10,000 more over a period of 15 years. I currently have my long-term analysis set at 15 years. You can adjust that up, down, put any figure that you want. If you want to do it over the life of the loan, you can put it at 30 there. You can see what it's going to cost over the life of the loan. Then you have this bottom box here, the short-term savings. This is the cost of the transaction for the first 5 years. So to get you folks set up to get ready for TRID that's coming out here in October, the legislation that's coming out, this box is here. It takes care of a lot of that information. So you can explain to your borrower the cost of the loan over that initial 5-year period. So just thinking ahead to try and get you folks prepared. Let me go ahead and arrow over. And you're definitely going to want to capture your borrower's email address here because you're going to want to send them a link, and I'm going to show you exactly what that is here in a second. So I'll just put in pretend email address. We'll put in a TBD for this one, but if it is specific to a property, you'd enter the information there. Let's go ahead and arrow over. Now you do have different report options that you can work with in a purchase transaction. Again, we're going to keep it simple. This is a TCA, total cost analysis, and we're going to want to make sure that these two products are checked. If you built a scenario, you can build up to 4. I should have mentioned that. I'm sorry, folks. In the products, I'll go ahead and show you here. See how I toggle? I just bring this down here, and it brings up the 2 products that I just built. You can actually keep going here. See how it gives you the option to build another product? You can do up to 4 products. I should have mentioned that to you. Up to 4 products you can actually build. So when you get to the preview area, or excuse me, the select report area, you can check the ones that you want to present to your customer. And you have the ability to modify this verbiage under each of the different quadrants that we're going to show you here in a second. So the scenario that I just built, it did include taxes and insurance. So let me just clean this up. Okay, so we're going to show the total cost analysis. Go ahead and arrow over. This is where I said that you can actually, if there's something specific about that quadrant that you want to mention to your borrower, certain verbiage that you want to have in here, certain disclaimers that you want to have in here, it gives you the opportunity to go ahead and modify that verbiage that's there. And again, you can make adjustments in your benchmarks as you're going along. I'm just going to pause here for a second. Everybody doing okay? Everybody following along? Everybody in the same place? Jared? Okay, good. Okay. Greg? Okay, good. Following along? Okay. All right. Let's keep moving forward. That was, I'm sorry, that was the long-term analysis, short-term, and then the monthly savings. So we'll arrow over. Okay, and you're on the final tab over here in the presentation area. What you're going to want to do is make sure that you have this box checked. Notify me when the report is viewed, because you're going to want to get that notification that Teddy showed you earlier that the report has been viewed, how long it's been viewed, so that you can reach out to the borrower when you feel most appropriate. As soon as they click, as soon as you get that alert that the borrower's viewed it, you can call them within 2 seconds, so it makes it look like you're stalking them. I'm just kidding, folks. You can call them whenever you think is appropriate, the timing is right, but use that to your advantage, and you can see how long that they've viewed that report. And what I've gotten feedback from some originators is that they'll actually see that somebody's clicked on, clicked off it, maybe 3-4 times. That's to me is an indication that they're going to have some questions, and you can include that. Like Teddy said, you can use video. Tell them that when you view this report, you're probably going to have some questions. So I will be following up with you after you had an opportunity to view it, or you can reach out to me, of course. So encourage them to have the questions, because then you know that they're engaged. They want more information about your presentation. When you know that you have somebody asking you questions, you know that that's a borrower that you're more than likely going to be able to convert to a customer, rather than somebody that just no communication at all. So of course you're going to want to include your quote date. Protect yourself because you're not locking anything in. You want to make sure that that is showing your borrower or the customer that was the rates that were available on that specific day. So you're covering yourself, and you definitely want to have the email link checked here. So what you're going to do next is you're going to hit generate link, and this produces a dynamic link that is specific to this report. And what I mean by dynamic is that you can go and make changes on that report, change the video that you're going to do for the borrower, and all they have to do is have that one link. You don't have to keep sending them additional links that they're going to have to go to. You can tell, if you do capture this borrower, you can give them a call and say, you know what, Mr. Borrower, I just made an update, the changes in the program that you requested. Go ahead and access it, and all that information will be fresh for you. It'll all be updated for you, so you don't have to send them out another link. It's dynamic. It's one of the great features of the product. So what you would do is you would highlight this, right-click, copy, and then you would send it off to them in an email. You might have an email template that is set up. And speaking of that, I'll just draw your attention to in the help area, there are some good scripts that you could take a look at. Feel free to use this information as you're going through it. How to position yourself with clients. Good scripts that you can go through, and you'll develop email templates that you'll be able to drop those links into and send out to both your realtor partners and to your customers. At this time, I think I'll go ahead and turn it back over.
You can open up TCA.
I'll go ahead and I'll pull up the preview. I'll let Teddy go ahead and go through the different areas here for you. I'll take a break and let my voice rest and let Teddy fire up his again. Appreciate you hanging in there with us. I hope everybody's there with us. And Teddy will go ahead and explain the different quadrants of the TCA.
All right, everyone. So right before we wrap up here, let's go through the TCA. A couple of things that I do want to point out is I'm going to take you back into Mortgage Coach Edge really quick. When you get to the final page, the presentation stage on that preview page there, you want to make sure that these three channels are highlighted at any given time, and you can drop your quote date in there, of course. And then you're going to come and click Generate Link. Now, I can't stress enough, you can click Generate Link as many times as you like. The link that I'm highlighting here, okay, you're going to copy that, you're going to paste that into an email and send that out to your client. And that's how they'll be able to view the total cost analysis. That's also how you're going to be notified. So this link here, they're going to click on that link from any desktop or laptop. They're going to tap on this link from any smartphone or tablet. Regardless of how they view it, by clicking or tapping, you're going to receive an email that obviously your presentation has been viewed and how long it's been viewed for. The link will never change on you because throughout the course of viewing the presentation or throughout the course of working their loan, things are going to change. So we allow you to make live changes at any given time, and that's what I'm about to show you now. So I'm going to pull this analysis down and I'm going to split my screens. And here in the Mortgage Coach World community, we call this Edge Live, to where we can make these live changes at a drop of a dime. Maybe not a drop of a dime, maybe 4 quarters, I don't know. Just teasing, guys. Okay, so just a few things. Each analysis, just as I showed on my mobile phone, just as you're looking at the desktop here, each analysis is broken up into 4 quadrants. You have a summary section, monthly payments, savings over 60 months, interest in MI paid over 30 years. Okay. Under the summary section, if your client were to tap on the More Info button, this is one of the key factors inside the analysis for the fact that every client wants rate and payment. What is my rate? What is my payment? So you can see where I'm making some highlights here. Okay. So as you get started, it may not be a bad idea to highlight rate and payment because it's what every client's looking for. It's what you're used to proposing now. But you are changing the game on what you're sending them because you're sending them a full breakdown. You're truly educating them with this analysis here. Actually, before I make any changes, I should finish explaining the analysis. Your company logo on the upper left-hand corner is listed there. Make sure you go into your settings section inside of Mortgage Coach to make sure that's uploaded. The Start Now button inside your settings section, once you're in your settings section and you have your own website, put your web address under the Start Now line item, and anytime your clients click on the Start Now, it'll drive them to your website. Any information you put of your client, such as their first, last name, and address, will appear here. And then your contact information over to the right side, your headshot and your company info would be on the right side of the page. So all this information is in your settings. So make sure that is all correct. Okay, back into the analysis under the summary section on that More Info tab. Just as I showed you on the on my phone, your client can view payment breakdown, closing cost. It'll show them a bulk fee. If they want to see the itemization, they can click on fee detail, and that would be the itemization of the fees. The same as you can view on the smartphone is the same you can view on the desktop. Looks a little bit differently. Obviously, we had to make everything fit on the mobile site. Any sort of reinvestment strategies that you're going to produce for them would be listed in here. And that's the summary section on more info. They can even see the stream of their payments throughout the entire loan process. All right, and then monthly payment savings. What this does is each product is just going to compare against one another. That's what that shows there. Has nothing to do with the summary section. You're comparing each product against one another. Under the more info tab, if they want to get deeper into rather than just looking at the chart, it'll give them a number breakdown of the comparison. Okay. Now I'm going over to the lower left-hand quadrant, savings over 60 months. So we have the new great TRID compliance coming up, and within that compliance purpose, it is requiring that we show each client cost savings over 60 months. It's already built inside of Mortgage Coach Edge for you folks, so you don't have to go back and reinvent the wheel. It's already in here for you. And what this is showing is that over the next 60 months, this net savings is roughly around $2,000. Okay. This includes the cost of the loan as well. So any fees that are involved, that is included in that. So that is their cost savings. Once again, under the more info, they can see the number breakdown there. Okay. The monthly payment is just comparison of against each loan product. Savings over 60 months is just showing you the cost savings over 60 months. Each quadrant is completely different. Interest in MI paid over 30 years, same situation. It's just giving you the interest, and if there's any MI involved, it'll show that MI as well. If they want to see the number breakdown, they can click on the more info tabs. So that is the rough breakdown, and I say rough because this is the beginner's course. You are going through the learning stage of that. Back into the cost savings and the fee detail.
I just wanted to add real quickly, you get that borrower that's analytical and they want to see a complete breakdown of the fees. If they, they have to see all that, this is where you'd locate it. So just real quickly, closing costs, fee detail, and it gives the complete breakdown of all the fees, just in case you get that engineer or that CPA that wants to access that information.
That's correct. That's correct. So, Edge is built for those factors. You're going to keep it very basic for yourself and simple for your clients. The majority of all your bars are like that, but as Bryan was saying, you're going to come across those analytical guys, you're going to come across those engineers and doctors, or someone just very number savvy. Well, this total cost analysis is built for those folks as well. So it's made for everyone, and truly you're educating every single client. You're helping them understand the loan process. I can tell you, I've originated for many, many years. How many clients did we not educate because they just come to us and say, oh, I just need this loan. Just get me this loan. Why hasn't my loan funded? Why hasn't my loan? Let's get some education out there. It's important, right, that we educate our kids. It's important that we educate our borrowers. It's one of the bigger purchases in their life for some, and many, the only biggest purchase in their life. So, it's very key, and this analysis breaks everything down for them as well. Now, another thing I want to point out is, actually, I'm going to close this analysis out. I'm going to reopen it. Okay, inside of Mortgage Coach Edge, I'm going to click Add Audio Video, and I'm going to pull this analysis down. Okay, so another thing that's pretty important too is that I clicked Add Audio Video. The same analysis appears. The only difference is on the lower left-hand corner there, you would click Record Message, and you'll see me. Hey everyone. Actually, let me adjust that to my liking. Not just teasing. So just as I showed you on the mobile phone, I'm now on my desktop, and you could record a message straight from your desktop or your mobile phone. On the mobile phone, it's great because you can be on site anywhere. I mean, you can kind of be, not that you want to do this, but you can be grocery shopping, you can be out at your kid's soccer event, but it is key, right, to keep in contact with your client. communication equals success, right? So just know that you can record mobile from anywhere. We allow you to record up to 5 minutes. Based off all the recordings that I view, we review several TCAs and recordings. We usually see about 1.5 minutes to 2.5 minutes. So just a tip there when recording. But the ideal situation is this, folks. Listen, you are visually showing your clients what they need to see, what they want to see. So visual effect is huge, but without the communication behind it, sometimes that visual can be looked at differently. So now by recording video, you're verbally explaining to them what they need to hear, what they want to hear. So you basically bridge the gap, and you're showing and giving them the best of all worlds. That's you're already delivering great service, but that service on top of enhancing the service you're giving them already. So did want to point that out. Okay, last thing right before we wrap up here, I'm going to close this video out. You can make changes to this at any given time. So just have a quick vision of this. This is you, the originator, on the left. This is the analysis you sent to your client. They are, say the wife is on her desktop at home, she's viewing this. Husband is on the road and viewing it from his iPad. Just a quick synopsis there, okay? You, the originator, are in your office and you need to make change. The client says, you know what, this 5% down conventional, what if we did come in with 10% down? Can you get us a better rate? What can you do for us? So you just go in there, and I'm going to change it to 10%. Maybe by doing that, for some crazy reason, I can get them 4%, just using an example here, okay, and I arrow through. Okay, within roughly 10 seconds or so, you'll see that change. That is Edge Live. I can add on, there's a change, I can add on a third, a fourth product, I can change my fees, I can add their address in there, I can make any instant changes very quickly without having to reinvent a new cost analysis, an Excel spreadsheet. I don't have to waste any additional time except a few seconds by making the minor changes. So that's when you get into Edge Live. And of course, folks, okay, you can still print this out. I know you guys are used to printing or saving as PDF attachments. We still allow you to do both, but the link way is the great way to go because you're notified, allows you follow-up, allows some easy changes as well. All right, everyone, have a great weekend. Hopefully this was a great learning experience for you, and I'm going to let Bryan close it all up.
Folks, thanks so much for joining us, and it looks like we ran a little bit long. Let me just do something here real quick. Hi, folks. You can see me here. One of the things that they do here at Mortgage Coaches, they look at us as trainers, and they want to see, how good of a job that we are doing as a trainer. So if those of you that were able to follow along and build that template, your first TCA, if you could do us the honor and the favor of sending that to us at support@mortgagecoach.com. Just copy that link. I'll go ahead and I'll show you how to do that real quick again. And we'll be happy to give you feedback on that as well. And then also, if you could just type a little note in there as to how we did as a trainer so that they can kind of gauge us. So all you would do is go select report, or excuse me, preview, generate link, highlight it, right-click, copy, send it off to an email to us at support@mortgagecoach.com. We would really appreciate that. We'd like to give you a little bit of feedback on that, and then they could see how we are doing as a trainer in providing information to you. So if you folks could do that, I enjoyed the training session being here with you folks. I wish you great success in using the Mortgage Coach product. And of course, if you need any additional help, use that help feature up here, and then we're always available for you at support@mortgagecoach.com. Thanks so much, folks, and do please send that TCA. We really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.